Right. So today we presented the draft homelessness plan to City Council, and I was pleased to see so many of our community partners, the service providers, neighbors, ministries here to show their support for the plan. Council received it very well because we outlined really a comprehensive plan of goals and strategies, many of which are already being done and already funded. But through this plan we can identify some gaps and then work towards finding the resources to fill those in the future. Most of this is implemented. In fact, probably 95% of the plan is implemented by the private sector and the nonprofits.
I think, as the mayor said, this is not just a city plan. This is a plan that was grown from the community, from the providers, from all those people who you see on the mayor's roundtable list that actually came together, and many are doing parts that are already called for. So this is nothing new. We're just trying to coordinate it, make sure that we have good collaboration, good cooperation among all the providers to include the city.
This organization, we started at the church. We're trying to see what we can do to help the homeless situation. We read over the plan and we support it 100%. Well, I'm speaking for me, but I support it 100%. I like to see a big improvement, especially with the homeless, because the homeless, to me, they're getting a raw deal, okay? They need help. They need programs, and I'm hoping this thing kicks off to where they get their programs and they get their help.
Well, the one that's always gotten the most in the past is getting people out of homelessness into a home situation. And that, in fact, has worked. That was one of the big criticisms of the so-called 10-year plan that was set aside several years ago. In fact, of course, the two prominent places that people know about are Manvilla and Flanagan. But in fact, there are only about 100 people housed there between those two. But throughout the community, there are around 600. I think Jenny Weatherstone could give you a more precise number. And it's working. We have about a 90+% retention rate after 1 year in housing. So this effort, and it's not a new effort, it's a continuing effort. We're trying to better coordinate it and make sure people are collaborating. So
most of the affordable housing that's provided in our city is provided by the private sector. And we need a variety of types of housing for people because we have folks who are there are families who are homeless, there are veterans, there are people with mental illness, and so there are a variety, and they're the chronically homeless, and so we need a variety of housing. But most of this, the whole goal is to get people out of housing, off the street and out of the shelters and into housing, and so they can have the stability of a home and that they are in the private market.
I came here 4 years ago. For 3 of those years, I was homeless. I came here with the whim of a job, and it fell through. April, I will have my apartment for 1 year, and even though I was homeless once, it scared me because I was never homeless before.
But we have a role as government, as mayor, I have a role to help convene the partners and to help set the direction and to encourage the collaboration. And that's what the community wants.
I actually got to shake the mayor's hand, and that's pretty exciting for me.